states.
Hello, everybody. First of all, I want to say I'm feeling really good. I'm actually a little surprised how good I'm feeling, but I would never cancel this call. It was the last stop before we won the last election, Grand Rapids, Michigan, so it's very important to me, and you're very important to me. We brought in tremendous business with cars, with factories, with everything. You have a governor that's shutting down your state ridiculously, and we're fighting her all the way. She's a disaster for your state. And the states that are doing well are the ones that are open and thriving, actually, in many cases. And you just got to open it up. But I want to just thank you on behalf of the First Lady and myself. We are very, very grateful to everything. And I'm very grateful to Michigan because we had a tremendous victory in Michigan that pushed us over the top, and we won. And we've done a great job with auto plants all over the country coming back, et cetera. On November 3rd, Michigan is going to decide whether we'll quickly return to prosperity, or are we going to go through all of this nonsense that some of the states are going through right now and have a Biden $4 trillion tax hike put in, abolish your energy, shut down the economy, destroy the suburbs, and that's what they'll do. They'll destroy the suburbs and give free health care to illegal aliens, which they promised to do, which brings everybody to our country. It's not that we don't have a big heart, we do, but it's going to bring everybody into our country. And your Second Amendment will be gone. It will be totally gone if they get in. This is the most important election that we've ever had, in my opinion. I used to say that 4 years ago, but this is beyond that. This is even beyond that. After refusing to condemn and all of the things that you've watched over the last 3 months, the rioters and all of that, now Biden refuses to answer simple questions on packing the Supreme Court. He's going to pack the court. They're going to put in justices all over the place, and they'll be able to do that. They'll get rid of the filibuster, and they'll be able to do it very easily if we don't win. We have to win. And hopefully we're going to have a tremendous success, a tremendous win. John James is doing a great job, and we're going to get John in there, and we're going to have something that's going to be very, very special. Another critical issue for Michigan is the election of Joe Biden's plan to flood your state with refugees from terrorist hotspots all over the world, including Syria, Somalia, Yemen. You know that. That's what they want to do. I've been the one that's stopping it, but they will do it, and they will do it as quickly as they can. Biden's pledged a 700% increase in the flow of illegal refugees. That's because that's what Bernie and all of his folks would like to see, but they've already agreed to it, 700% plus increase in the flow of refugees into your state, and we can't allow that to happen. It'll destroy Michigan. It'll permanently destroy Michigan. Biden's pledge to terminate a national security travel ban that I got, overwhelming your state with poorly vetted migrants in jihadist regions, all over from jihadist regions, from the different places in the Middle East and elsewhere. And this is in the midst of a pandemic where we're doing very well, and the vaccine will be out very shortly, a matter of weeks, and a lot of good things are happening. But in the middle of a pandemic, this is what they want to do. So it's really a war against the middle class, the American middle class, and we can't have that in Michigan. You'll have enough of a war with your governor, who's a disaster. In just 3.5 years, we've secured America's borders, rebuilt the awesome power of the U.S. military, obliterated the ISIS caliphate, fixed our disastrous trade deals, and they were disastrous, and brought back jobs home to America, and brought them back, a lot of them, right back to Michigan, especially with the auto plants that are being built all over the place. They hadn't had one built in 42 years. Now you're building them all over. Because I got other countries, you got to come in and build them. Otherwise, we're not going to do business with you. We built the greatest economy in history, and not even a contest, the greatest economy in the history of the world until the plague came in. Now we're rebuilding it again. It's going to be stronger next year than it was last year. Last year, Michigan had its best year ever, and you're going to have a better year next year unless somebody comes along and wants to quadruple your taxes, which is what Biden wants to do, which is what they're going to do. And they have the Green New Deal, which is a catastrophe. We pioneered life-saving therapies, reducing the fatality rate now, as of last night, to 89% since April. Fatality rate 89% down. Europe is almost a 50% greater excess mortality rate than the U.S. and our early aggressive action saved many millions of lives, as you know, with the ban. And Biden said that was wrong, but then he admitted I was right, but that was 2.5 months later. Through Operation Warp Speed, we'll develop and distribute the vaccine in record time. It'll start taking place very shortly. And the virus, we will crush it. On November 3rd, Michigan will decide whether we end the pandemic, defeat the virus, return to record prosperity, which we will. We've already created more jobs in the last 4 months than at any time ever in our history. And we're looking like a tremendous V-shape. If you talk, they talk about the V-shape. We have a super V, and that's what's happening. And Michigan's going to be one of the biggest beneficiaries. I want to thank the great people and my friends for being on the line today, and your great Michigan Republicans who are fighting by your side: Congressman Bill Heisinger, John Molinar, Fred Upton, Tim Walberg, and Senate candidate, as I mentioned, John James. John's doing a phenomenal job of beating somebody that nobody even knows who he is. Nobody knows who he is. Even the people of Michigan don't. He's a senator, Peters. He's a senator, and nobody knows who he is. And also I want to congratulate on doing a fantastic job, congressional candidate Peter Meyer, and also, of course, Michigan GOP Chair Laura Cox, who's been really a stalwart, been fantastic. We've spent the last 4 years reversing the damage that Joe Biden inflicted on the last 47 years of these ridiculous policies, including NAFTA, TPP, and China's entry into the World Trade Organization, which has been a disaster for our country. And, I've turned that all around. In fact, we just won $7.5 billion from the World Trade. We hadn't won a suit for years, and we just won the biggest suit ever, $7.5 billion we won. And we won it because they know we're not playing games. After years of rebuilding other nations, we're finally rebuilding our nation. The last administration killed the U.S. auto industry. I saved the auto industry. I brought it back. The auto industry in this country was dead. America lost 500 auto and auto part facilities all over the United States. Think of that. Before the virus, my administration added over 200 new auto and auto part plants, and now they're adding them like at a record rate that nobody's ever seen before. My first week in office, I withdrew from the horrific Trans-Pacific Partnership, which would have totally killed our manufacturing, in particular autos, but our manufacturing generally in our country and in Michigan. I ended the NAFTA nightmare, and I signed the brand new U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement, which nobody thought would be even possible. It's an incredible agreement. It's just starting to kick in now, and it gives you back your strength and your power. Chrysler just launched a $4.5 billion investment in Michigan because of us, solely because of us, including the first new auto plant in Detroit in more than a generation. And we fought to get that, and the other side didn't fight to get it. They would have never gotten it. I took the toughest ever action to stand up to China, defending Michigan workers against China's plunder and theft. We ended the war on American energy, which was a disaster, which was really a disaster. And now we are totally energy independent for the first time. We are energy independent. And look at the price of your gasoline at $2 a gallon. Nobody thought that was going to be possible either when it was hitting $5. I also authorized millions of dollars to save Michigan's vital SULOCs and fought for over $300 million for the Great Lakes Restoration Initiative, all done. I also issued major disaster declarations in response to the catastrophic flooding caused by the failure of the Edenville Dam, which was just recently. I was called by your great congressman, actually, and I got that done. And we're providing more than $43 million to help homeowners, businesses, and communities in central Michigan recover. And that was very important to me because that's been an incredible area of inspiration. We achieved the most secure border in U.S. history, and the wall will soon be finished. For those of you that are interested, which is I think everybody, we're up to 380 miles of wall, and it's built at the highest level. It's exactly what Border Patrol wanted, and it's had a tremendous impact. We're setting records on illegals coming in and a lot of bad people coming in. We're not letting them in. And we got rid of catch and release and all of these horrible things that were for so many years. You catch them and then you release them into our country. We don't do that anymore. We invested $2.5 trillion in the U.S. military and launched the first new branch of the U.S. Armed Forces in 75 years. It's called Space Force. You all heard about it. And we passed VA choice and VA accountability, something said would never happen. We killed the founder and leader of ISIS, al-Baghdadi, and we took out the world's #1 terrorist, Soleimani. Soleimani is dead. I withdrew from, and who killed many, many, many people, both of them. I withdrew from the last administration's disastrous Iran nuclear deal. I kept my promise, recognized the true capital of Israel, and opened America's embassy in Jerusalem. And I also recognized Israeli sovereignty over the Golan Heights, which they've been negotiating for 52 years. They never got it. And those two things, every politician for the last many, many decades said they were going to do them, and they never did. I got them both done. I did more in 47 months than Joe Biden did in 47 years. And we say that very loosely, but it's true, and everybody admits it. Everybody sees it. They'll destroy your, if they get in, they're going to destroy your Social Security and destroy protections for pre-existing conditions. They're going to go with a health care system that's a socialist health care system. And 180 million people are going to lose your health care, your private health care, which people are thrilled about. They give free taxpayer-funded health care to illegal aliens, which will bankrupt your Medicare system. They're going to ban school choice and totally ban charter schools. All of these things they're going to do, and it's going to destroy the fabric of our country. In a second term, I'll provide school choice where we've already started to a very large extent. A vote for a Republican is really a vote for safe communities, great jobs, and a limitless future for all Americans. And just in conclusion, over the next 4 years, we'll make America into the manufacturing superpower of the world. We've already started it. If you remember, they said you need a magic wand. Those jobs are gone. Well, it's wrong. We're going to end our reliance on China once and for all. I've been doing that. We'll make our medical supplies right here in the United States and in the state of Michigan. We'll hire more police, increase penalties for assaults on law enforcement, and we'll ban deadly sanctuary cities, which are horrible. We'll strike down terrorists who threaten our citizens, and we'll keep America out of these ridiculous, endless wars. As you know, our troops are coming home from Afghanistan and Iraq and all these places where they've been forever. We'll maintain America's unrivaled military might, and we'll ensure peace through strength. That's what we want, is peace through strength. And we don't want to dissipate our peace. When I took over the military, our military was in such bad shape. Now we have the finest weapons in the world, all made in the USA, the finest tanks and rockets and every single thing you can think of. We spent $2.5 trillion, all made in the USA. We still strongly protect Medicare, Social Security. We will strongly protect it. They're going to destroy it because the Green New Deal is going to destroy everything. They want to spend $100 trillion. That's more money than this country could make, assuming it had 100 good years in a row. It's the most ridiculous thing anybody's ever heard. America will land the first woman on the moon. It's all set to go. And the United States will be the first nation to land an astronaut on Mars. NASA has become the hottest space center in the world again. There's nothing even close. When I took it over, it was closed. There was grass growing in the crevices of the runways. If you look at the runways, if you would have seen them, it was a terrible thing to look at. But NASA now is the hottest space center and space facility anywhere in the world. We'll stop the radical indoctrination of our students, and you see I've already started that, and restore patriotic education to our schools. They were trying to teach our students things that were bad, very bad, very disrespectful to our country. And we will never, ever do anything but cherish the words, "In God we trust." People want to make a move to get rid of it. That's not going to happen. For years, you had a president who apologized for America. Now you have a president standing up for America. And it's so important that you get out and vote. Your Second Amendment will be under siege. Life will be under siege. All of these things, whether it's pro-life or whether it's Second Amendment or whether it's anything you can name, they're all under siege. It's all up for grabs if these people get in. And now the new thing is packing the court. They want to take our great Supreme Court and destroy it, and they want to pack it, put many, many judges. Nobody even knows what the number might be. It might be 20, might be more than 20. And they want to destroy our institutions. It's part of the game. It's part of cancel culture. So I just want to say to Michigan, and I want to say to Grand Rapids, you've been so good to me. That last speech, I'll never forget it. It started at 1 o'clock in the morning on Election Day, and then we went on to one of the greatest victories ever, and we've done a great job. Nobody's done more than this administration in the first 3.5 years of existence, and that's despite the fact that we had to get and work on a pandemic. So I just want to thank everybody on the call. I really appreciate you taking the time. You're incredible people. It's an incredible state. We have a lot of auto plants coming in. Japan, Germany, they're all building in Michigan. I'm insisting on it because they've been ripping us off for years and years, and now I'm insisting on it. And I have been for 3.5 years. You know that. You've seen what we've done. Your governor has to open up her state. We, as you know, brought suit, and she lost the suit on a constitutional basis. Get your kids back to school. We're rounding the turn on the pandemic, and we've done a really good job on it. And you'll see that very soon when the vaccines start coming out and the final therapeutics. So, again, everybody in Grand Rapids, everybody in Michigan, I want to just thank you very much for being on the call. So important. Get out and vote. Be careful when you vote because there's a lot of shenanigans going on with the ballots. You've been reading about it every day. You read about it. But get out and vote, and I will never disappoint you. I will never let you down. We're going to make America greater than ever before, and it's already happening again. We did it once, and now we're doing it again. And I appreciate everybody, and I will see you soon. Thank you very much. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the event has ended. If you'd like to support the president to make America great again, press 1 now to let him know he can count on your support. The liberal media is a 24-hour attack dog for the socialist working to defeat the president. If he can count on you to donate just a few dollars to help get the truth to the American people, press 2 now. The silent majority needs to speak up on Election Day. Join our team now as a Trump team leader by pressing 3 to help get our message out to your neighbors. Finally, the president needs everyone on this call to text Trump to 88022. Thank you, and God bless America.